everyone, and welcome to Channel 6 News. I'm Matt Trowbridge.
And I'm Kyle Austin.
New at 10, an outpour of grief for an 18-year-old girl who was struck and killed by an Amtrak. Tonight, friends and family gathered in San Leandro to remember Brittany Silva. She was a high school senior who was planning on attending her senior prom this weekend. But on Monday, she was walking on railroad tracks right next to her home, with earbuds in, and didn't hear or see an Amtrak train approaching. Family members saying that Brittany was accepted to 5 different universities. She wanted to be a doctor or marine biologist. She just got her first car and ATM card.
For the second time in 2 days, a construction worker has been killed on the job here in the Bay Area. This morning, a man fell 3 stories while working on a road at North Capitol Avenue in San Jose. Grant White was called to investigate the death. An inspector said he was unloading sheetrock when he fell. The coroner's office is telling us that they will not release the man's name until tomorrow. Also yesterday, 54-year-old Will Grello of Fairfield died at a construction site in San Mateo. He fell about 19 feet. He was working on a townhouse complex that's being built on the side of the old Bay Meadows racetrack.
A dead whale washed up late today on the Coast Peninsula. The huge creature was discovered outside Pillar Point Harbor in Half Moon Bay. The harbor master told Channel 6 it appears to be the carcass of a juvenile humpback whale. It can be seen bobbing in the water while spectators took photos and quickly posted to Instagram and Twitter with the hashtag "That's one giant gift of nature." There is no word yet on what could happen to the whale, but it will probably float away on its own.
Salinas police are investigating a carjacking that occurred in a restaurant's parking lot on Sunday night, police said Monday. The carjacking was reported at 9:29 p.m. Sunday outside the El Pollo Loco at 336 East Market Street. The victim was sitting in his car, a 2000 4-door beige Honda with Amigo Auto Sales paper plates, when a suspect armed with a semi-automatic handgun approached. The suspect demanded the victim's wallet and ordered him to get out of the car. The suspect then got inside and drove away in the Honda. The victim was not injured in the robbery. The suspect remains at large as of this morning. He was described as a Hispanic man between 25 and 30 years old, who is roughly 5 foot 6 inches tall, weighing around 150 pounds, wearing a black clothing, gloves, and a ski mask.
Police are searching for a man who opened fire on a car that had just left a concert at the Concord Pavilion on Sunday night, striking the woman driver and man in the passenger seat, police said. The 2 victims were taken to John Muir Medical Center in Walnut Creek for treatment, but their conditions were not available late Sunday night. Their names and ages have not yet been released. The police are looking for a black man in his early to mid-20s, about 6 feet to 6 foot 2 inches tall, with a medium build, wearing a black 3-hole mask, a t-shirt, and blue jeans. Police said he was armed with a semi-automatic handgun and driving a light-colored 4-door sedan, possibly a Honda. Shortly before 8 p.m. Sunday, witnesses said both the suspect and the victims were driving their cars west on Ignacio Valley Road, approaching a red light at Oak Grove Road, when the suspect pulled up alongside the victim's car and fired into the front passenger seat. The suspect then got out of his car and fired numerous times into the victim's white 4-door Mercedes, striking both people. The suspect then continued to drive north on Oak Grove Road. It was not clear late Sunday if the suspect and the victims had a fight at the concert or in the parking lot before the shooting. Anyone with information about the shooting should call the Walnut Creek Police Department at 925-943-5844.
Thousands of students at the University of California, Santa Barbara, are mourning 6 of their fellow students who were killed in a deadly weekend rampage. University of California officials remembered the 6 victims on Tuesday and thanked students, police, and others who dealt with the tragedy. UC President Janet Napolitano urged that victims be remembered for what they did in their brief lives and said they would not be gone as long as people held them in their hearts. The school canceled classes and declared a day of mourning and reflection on Tuesday, 4 days after the attack. The students are also planning to build a memorial wall at the Student Center, and counselors are working extended hours to help students deal with the tragedy. On Tuesday morning, only 3 of the 13 students injured remain in the hospital. Truly is a tragic story coming out of Santa Barbara. Thoughts and prayers go out to all those affected.
Well, coming up, a Walnut Creek local woman calls 911 after McDonald's runs out of chicken nuggets.